All right, so this is a mindful movement exercise. It's in the somatic family of exercises, and it's for controlling the muscles of the neck and shoulders, and I've also found it's really great for opening up the hips. Now you'll see my right foot is placed firmly against the inner part of my left thigh. We'll be doing both sides, but in this part of the video, I'm rotating, in this case to the right, and what I'm doing is I'm slowly, with each repetition, I'm rotating a little bit further with my neck and my shoulders. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to start integrating my, in this case, my left thigh into my right foot so that you feel the stretch right up to the front. Now watch what I do here. We're going to switch the technique a little bit. Watch my hip. Now you see how my hip is rotating a little bit more into that direction. So in other words, my left thigh is pushing more into my right foot now because I'm actually rotating the hip a little bit. Not quite as much as I'm rotating the upper body, but now I'm rotating the hip into it. All right, now we're going to start involving the hip more. So I have that rotation, but now I'm lifting and rotating the hip towards the right. So I'm lifting, rotating the upper body, and pushing that thigh right into my foot as I rotate my hip. Now as you do this motion, as you come up here, I want you to squeeze that glute. In this case, it would be the left glute. And then the last phase is you're going to come up all the way, you're going to reach over, and you're going to tighten that glute as you come up. You're going to hold that and then come back down. Now the breathing for all of this is inhale as you rotate, or in this video footage, you're going to inhale as you extend up and then exhale as you come back down. I want you to do 5 to 10 per side, and if you notice that one side started out to be a little bit tighter, I want you to go back to that side and do an additional 3. So now we're going to switch directions, and we're going to start with an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. There's no hip movement, it's just upper body. Now we're going to start that hip motion. We're going to drive that thigh right into the left foot now as we rotate. Now I'm using my hands here to kind of show you how and which way the direction of the hip should rotate as you do this movement. Rotating the hip more. Now we go into our left. So if you break these off into sections, since there's 3 different movements to this one exercise, you can maybe do 5 with just rotation, 5 with the hip rotation, and then maybe 5 with the hip lift. Oh, and actually there's one more, and then we'll do 5 with the arm over. This is definitely an inhale, hold, and then exhale as you come down. Everything's done at a breathing pace for a specific reason. Number 1 is to relax the nervous system. Last phase, elevate, squeeze the glute, inhale, and then exhale. All right, our next exercise is called a deep breathing pelvic tilt. And I'm going to have you emphasize on arching the back. So as you arch the back, watch my hands. See how my low back comes away from the floor. I inhale and I expand my belly and my ribs. When you breathe in, you have to breathe down into the belly and out through the ribs so that you're expanding, literally expanding your abdominal wall, your abdomen. So very comfortable, you inhale, arch the back, expand your belly, exhale through pursed lips and flatten your back, and do that 10 times. And of course, if you have any pain, stop. All right, now we're going to start some pelvic raises or hip lifts. Look how close the feet are. Now you have to keep your back straight. Watch what I do here. You're going to watch, I'm going to lose my form. Watch. See how I lost my form? So you've got to keep the glutes on. Now I'm going to push my back into what would be like a normal curve in my back. So as you lift, you maintain alignment through your core, but keep your glutes on. Keep them tight when you get up there. Don't let your bridge fall when you leave the floor, or definitely when you're up there in the bridge position. You don't want to roll or do a pelvic tilt to make that lift. You want to use your hips and your glutes to make this motion happen. This is an inhale and an exhale. It's done very slow, very gradual, but again, keeping the heels closer to your butt will activate more of your butt muscles and less of your hamstrings. All right, now we're going to do an active hamstring stretch, taking a small hand towel, rolling it up, unrolling it just a little, and then place that under your low back directly opposite of your belly button. Grab a hold of the back of your thigh and simply extend your knee straight. If this is too challenging to hold on to with your hands, simply grab like a piece of rope or take a bigger towel and fold it lengthwise and wrap that around your leg, and then hold on to the towel rather than your leg, and that'll put less stress. Here I'm pointing that you have to keep the knee straight. It doesn't matter where the upper leg is. So you can see as I'm extending my leg up, I'm also preventing my hip from leaving the surface of the ground. Watch. So if I do this wrong, see how my hip came up? You got to keep your hip down. That towel roll has to be up under your low back and not under your hip bones. Because what we're doing as you're extending up and doing the stretch, we're preventing your low back from moving, from flattening to the floor. So on this side here, you can see I almost have my upper leg vertical. You may not be able to keep it vertical, but you do the best that you can on extending. And you're going to exhale and inhale on that movement. Exhale on the way up, inhale on the way down. Now, I have my toes pulled up. This is a modified downward dog pose in yoga. I'm going to, exhale, and then I'm just going to breathe in and out and hold this position as I visualize decompression on my spine. I'm lengthening each segment of my spinal column. There are a number of spinal segments in your back, and what we're doing is we're decompressing them. Here I'm going to inhale until I get into my prone cobra position, and then I'm going to hold this, relaxing my glutes. Try not to contract your glutes, and try to keep your hips on the floor. I just want to let everybody know that some people, I have them contract the glutes and some I don't. So you exhale, and then as you're holding that, you're just breathing in and out through your diaphragm. And you take an inhale, relax the shoulders, don't let them come up towards your ears, relax your glutes. And then you'll breathe, because you're going to hold this position. See how long I'm holding it? For about 2 or 3 breaths as you inhale and exhale. And keep your mind in the present moment as you perform all these exercises.